Hello friends, welcome to the Farmer Walk channel. Please like, share and subscribe to this channel for easy learning of pharmacy topics. So in cardiovascular system series, last time in previous video we had discussed about the structure, anatomy of the heart. So in today's video we'll discuss about conduction system of heart in detail. It is the system which generate electrical signal which control the heartbeat. जैसे घर में पूरा power supply का system होता है, mechanism होता है, which is responsible for electricity or power supply. So this is the system which supply the signal to entire heart, which is responsible for generating the heartbeat or heart rate. So ये पूरा process कैसे start होता है? So in the heart, one part that is called SA node, sinoatrial node, which is located or which is known as the natural pacemaker which start the signal, and it is located at the upper part of right atrium, and main function is it generate the electrical impulse and that start the heartbeat. तो पूरा process start ऐसे node ही करता है which start electrical impulse. That's why it is called pacemaker. Many times we had heard कि pacemaker बाहर से replace करना पड़ा या implant करना पड़ा. So that is the function or very important crucial function of SA node, because it start the process of generating electrical signal and then it leads to the heartbeat. So what happens when SA node generate the impulse? So when SA node generate the electrical signal, it leads to the contraction of atrium, which is upper part of the heart, upper chambers of the heart. And जब atrium contract होंगे, it leads to the supply of blood into the ventricles. So that you can see in the diagram. When SA node generate the signal, from the right atrium, deoxygenated blood enter into the right ventricle because atrium contract हो रहे, and from the left atrium, oxygenated blood enter into the left ventricle. So that is the process happen when SA node generate the electrical signal. Moving further, after generation of electrical impulse by SA node, that signal reaches to the another part that's called AV node, atrioventricular node. Now the name itself indicates it is located between atrium and ventricle, and that's why it called atrioventricular node. AV node का काम क्या होता है? AV node delays the signal of SA node. Why? Because that delay ensure that atrium supply blood into the ventricles completely. Because it is very much important कि जितना blood, जितना volume of blood atrium में है, पूरा का पूरा ventricles में आ जाए. And for that reason, AV node delays the signal of SA node. So atrium is completely empty into the ventricles. पूरा blood ventricles में आ जाएगा. Third part. Now from the AV node, the signal passes to the bundle of His, and that divided into the two branches. The right side it is called as the right bundle of His, left side it is called as the left bundle of His. So what is the function of it? It is the branch of fibers that extends from AV node. AV node से extend होता है, and this fiber bundle receives the electrical signal from AV node and carries into the Purkinje fibers. वो उसको सप्लाई करेगा Purkinje fibers में. तो ऐसे नोड से सिग्नल जनरेट हुआ था, AV नोड तक पहुंचा, AV नोड से बंडल ऑफ हिस तक पहुंचा, and from the bundle of His it transport to the Purkinje fibers. So same thing mentioned in the diagram, that from the bundle of His, now right bundle of His transport the signal to the right side of Purkinje fibers, and left bundle of His transport the signal to the left side of Purkinje fibers. So if we see the Purkinje fibers located in the subendocardial surface of ventricular walls, ventricles के inner wall में Purkinje fibers होता है. And what is the function? They send electrical signal very quickly to the right and the left heart ventricles. Ventricles तक signal को पहुंचाना. And once ventricles receives the signal via the Purkinje fibers, what is the effect? Effect क्या आएगा? So that leads to the contraction of ventricle. तो जब भी contraction होगा, blood pump होगा. If atrium gets contract, atrium से blood pump होगा. अगर ventricle contract होता है, तो ventricle से blood pump होता है. So at the time of contraction of ventricle, from the right ventricle, the deoxygenated blood enter into the pulmonary artery, and from the left ventricle, the oxygenated blood enter into the aorta. You can see over here. Once the ventricle receives the signal from the right ventricle, the deoxygenated blood goes into the pulmonary artery, and from the left ventricle, oxygenated blood goes into the aorta, जो biggest artery होता है, which is responsible for supply of blood to the entire body. So that ultimately will generate the heartbeat. So if we see the summary of entire conduction system function, it starts with the SA node natural pacemaker which generate the signal. जब SA node signal generate करेगा, it leads to the contraction of atrium, जिससे पूरा supply of blood atrium से ventricle में होगा. After that signal reaches to the AV node, atrioventricular node, जो थोड़ा SA node के signal को delay करेगा. Why? To ensure that पूरा का पूरा blood atrium से ventricle में आ जाए. After that, the signal transport to the bundle of His, right bundle of His, left bundle of His, and from that bundle of His reaches to the Purkinje fibers, and Purkinje fibers responsible for transferring signal to the right ventricle and the left ventricle. और जब भी ventricles को signal मिलेगा, that leads to the contraction of ventricle. So right ventricle से deoxygenated blood will enter into the pulmonary artery, and from the left ventricle oxygenated blood enter into the aorta, biggest artery, and ultimately it is responsible for generating heartbeat. So thank you so much. I hope you have understood the conduction system of the heart, which is responsible for proper functioning of heart. So please do not forget to like, share and subscribe to the Pharma Walk channel. Thank you so much.